in your organization, what are those activities that you do almost on a daily basis? On a daily basis, down all those repetitive activity you do daily, you do weekly, and so on like that. So we can actually to be more productive by automating most of these processes. So by using Power Automate, that's what Power Automate does. So it's an online workflow service that automates actions across applications and services. Power Automate it is used, like I said, it is used to automate business processes, but it doesn't work just with business processes alone. You can also use it to automate some of our known applications, our social media applications like LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram for those that use Instagram, Facebook, and so on. A lot. You can actually use it to automate. In fact, there was one automation I did a couple of weeks ago. You can actually use Power Automate when you tweet. When you actually tweet, you can use Power Automate to take that tweet. If you want a switch whereby you use Twitter, you post something on Twitter, and you want to replicate the same thing on Facebook or on Instagram, you can actually automate that process instead of you copying and paste, then do and moving from one application to the other. You can automate the process. Another thing you can also do with Power Automate is that with Power Automate, you can also know what people are saying about your business. What people are saying about your business. For example, with Twitter, with Twitter we have different hashtags, some keywords. So you can automate it in such, instead of you going searching through surfing the Twitter interface, looking for what people are saying about your business. You can actually automate it by using some keywords, some key phrases, the hashtags. So whenever anybody tweets, whenever anybody make a tweet and that include that hashtag or the keyword used, you can automatically get a notification. You can automatically get a notification either in your inbox or anywhere you want it to be. Get a notification. Also, another way you can use Power Automate is if you are the type that receives email with a lot of attachments, so you can always automate that attachment. Whenever an email comes into your inbox, you can automate it such a way that attachment, it will be picked automatically and be saved wherever you want it to be. It can be saved in your OneDrive, can be saved on your anywhere you want it to be saved. You can automatically create auto. So when that email comes in and it has an attachment, you can Power Automate to automatically pick the attachment and save it in your preferred folder. So these and many other things. In fact, you can also use it to automate business processes. In such a way that probably you have a form in your organization that you fill for visitors or vendor or anyone, such that when they fill that form, so the whatever it is being filled on that form determines who is going to give approval to such request. So for example, your organization, you have different branches or different departments. So when if an external person is coming and the person fill a form, so if you pick a department, so the department you pick will determine who will approve your coming in or going out. So if you pick HR, for example, so a designated person at the HR department will automatically receive your email. So we don't necessarily need to be moving from one office to the other and so on like that. So it will automatically the email notification will go to the designated person from the HR department. If it is the marketing, the notification will automatically go to the designated person in the marketing department, and so on and so on and so on like that. So for business processes as well, so you can also automate that. So when you want to do Power Automate, just like Power Apps and Power BI. So for Power Automate as well, you also have interface. It has its own site where you can actually where you can see what Power Automate does and everything about Power Automate. So right now, I'm going to bring up my browser. Let's go and explore Power Automate interface. Let's go and explore the interface. So I want us to go to our browser and type flow.microsoft.com. Yes, flow.microsoft.com. 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 Yes, so can we confirm if our we might need to sign in because I've been using Power Automate for quite some time now, so that's why it was asking me to sign in. So, but for others, let me see. Okay, let me open an incognito. For you on your end, when you get to flow.microsoft.com, it might require you to sign in. So, can we confirm if our Microsoft account is still active, the one we created in the beginning of this webinar? I think this first session. Let's confirm if that is still working. Hello. Let's confirm if our Microsoft account is still.
Trying the sign option.
You say what?
Are we to use the sign in to test whether it is?
Yes, please use the sign in. Yes, use the sign in.
Okay.
Just use the sign in to check. So the Microsoft account we created, just your email and the password. So if you have been able to sign in, just use the and tool. Okay, I can see you can sign up. What else? Please just confirm once you're able to sign in. Okay, Sandra is up as well. Let me also put up my hand to show that I'm in already. Okay, so we are waiting for Sarah and Laziz and Babatokbe. So let us know
hello.
If you are okay. Hello.
Yeah, sorry, continue, please. I'm at somewhere. I'm not with my laptop presently. Just continue.
All right. Okay. So another thing that we can also do with Power Automate is we can always, just like the Power Platform tools are very, very important, as in they are very powerful tools. So they can work alone, can stand alone, work on their own. And in fact, they can even be integrated into one another. You can build an app, then you automate it with Power Automate. You can create, yes, thank you. All right, so we can now lower our hand. We can lower our hand. You can build an app with Power Apps. Then to go through the series of approval, you can use Power Automate to do the approval. Then you integrate the Power Apps to your Power Automate. The same thing when you use the Power Virtual Agent, you create a Power Virtual Agent as well. You can integrate it with Power Automate. If you build an app, you can integrate it with Power BI dashboard. So a lot of things that you can. So together they work better. They work better. In some organization, another thing that Power Automate can do is in some organization, most organizations I've seen, so most of them still do a lot of manual processes. For one particular common scenario is the leave application. A lot of people, when they want to apply for leave, they still go through the process of using pen and paper. You have to get a form, probably you download it on the portal. After downloading it, you have to fill all the different fields there. After filling it, you submit it to your direct manager, your line manager. Your line manager has to approve. Then the form will have to move on to the HR or different level of approval. So before you know it, in some cases, your form might even get lost in transit. In some cases, when you are filling your form that you want to go on leave, you later find out that the person that is meant to approve your leave is not even on seat. Probably the person is even on leave or sick leave or so on like that. So with that, it has a lot of delay processes. You have to move from, aside the fact that you are moving from one office to the other, which is very stressful, it also it delays a lot, such that if the person is not on seat, there's nothing that can be done. But with Power Automate, you can actually do it even at the comfort of your house. At the comfort of your sitting room, you can do a lot. Just approval. Once you get the notification from them that okay, one of your subordinates needs an approval. With just even your phone, you can do the approval with your phone. You don't necessarily need to be on your system. So we have the desktop version. We also have the mobile version of Power Automate. Not only Power Automate, all the Power Platforms we have their mobile version, of it, where you can do a lot. Now that we are on Power Automate environment, now we're on Power Automate Studio now. So for me, I have it's welcome me. I study about this one. So now let's explore the Power Automate interface. Now on the left hand side of our screen, let me use my tool. Okay. All right, so on the left hand side of my screen here, I have different tabs there. Now let's look at the tab one after the other. The home tab is where we currently are, and that's where you see the home interface of Power Automate. Now the next one is the action and items. Under this action and item, we have the approvers, and we also have the business process. So we see the different approvers that that are pending, that needs your attention, or the business process flow that also those ones that you've built, and those that are active and those that are not active. Now, if you want to start building your own flow, you start from to see the number of flows that you built, the ones you built yourself, the ones that have been shared with you. You see them on the My Flow icon, on the My Flow tab. You see it there. On this environment, I think I have just one flow there. So, and this way it was integrated with Power Apps, just like I said. So this is where you see all the flows that you built. You have the clouds for the clouds that you built, the desktop flows, the business process flow, and all the flows that have been shared with you. But if you want to start creating your own flow from scratch or from anywhere, you come to create. On the create tab, you see where to this is where you start building your own flow. So here, you see, you can start. There are 3 ways by which you can start creating your flow. So don't worry, we are going to come back here and explain this in full. But there are 3 ways that we can use to start creating our flow. The first one is to start from blank. So from blank means you are actually starting from the scratch. You are building it from the scratch, from the beginning to the end. So that's from blank. You can also start from a template. This is very much like Microsoft, Whatever they give you, there's always in any of Microsoft tools, there's always templates. So in case you are finding it difficult to start or so we already have some pre-built templates that you can always leverage on. And you build from there. Or you can start from connector. You have different connectors, just like in our Power Apps and so on like that. See, they have over 250 pre-built connectors that you can connect to with Power Automate. So we are going to explore this when we come back. Now the template, that's the next tab. So template is where you can start. It's one of the places where you can start building your Microsoft Power Automate flow. The Power Automate flow can leverage on the different templates that we have. If you look here, we have these are all the flows, the different category featured, the ones that we shared with you, the one that's talking about remote work, approval flow, button flow, a lot mobile. We even have social notification. When you click on this, you see social media. Yes, you have productivity, social media, and so on. So these are the different templates that we have on Power Automate. Then the next one is the connectors. Different connectors that your Power Automate can work with. Can work with Office 365, OneDrive, Office 365 user, this Outlook, this Office 365, SharePoint, SQL, Dataverse, even Twitter, notification. You can do a notification. When you scroll down, you see a lot of what? Connectors that you can actually use. You can see Power BI, SQL, Azure DevOps, Google Calendar, Gmail, and so you have a lot of connectors that you can actually make use of. In fact, where you have some connectors that those connectors that are currently okay. Abdulaziz, your hand is up.
Yeah, thank you. Can you please tell me the site again?
Flow.microsoft.com. Flow.microsoft.com. So these are different connect. We have custom connectors and there are some premium connector that requires some premium licenses. You can see LinkedIn is also part of them. Then we check Facebook. Is Facebook a premium connector? Okay. This is, let's see there. Search for any connector of your choice. Okay, this way you can search for it. So, okay, I think I don't have access to Facebook from my end, but from your end, you should have access to Facebook. Okay, so data. When you come to the data tab, here we have different tables and different connections that you've made, even the custom connectors. So you can build the code gateway for the custom connectors, or the custom connector that you built. You can see it here, or you can start building it from here by clicking on new connector. New connector, it can be connected from blank, from Azure. So this is meant for from advanced stage. So when you're using API, from Open API, from URL, Postman, or you're using GitHub, you can connect to advanced connector. Here on the monitor, you can monitor how your flow is doing. For your cloud flow activity, see different activities of your flow. Is your flow running? Is it encountering any challenge? How many of your flows has issue? You see them on your on the monitor. So when we go to the AI builder, so here you can build your model. You can even build an automated document here. So process advisor solutions. So all the solutions that you built, you see it on the solution tab. Solution you built. Then if you want to read Microsoft documentation on Power Automate, so you do, let me collapse all this. Okay, so you do that on Microsoft Learn. On Microsoft Learn, that's the last tab there. So if you want to read about extensively about Power Automate, you go to what Microsoft Learn, and it will show you all the documentations that Microsoft has on Power Automate. You can start from what Power Automate and so on, watch videos and so on like that to learn more about Power Automate. About Power Automate. Now, let's now go ahead to see what we talk about, the different types of flow that we have. The different types of flow that we have. Now, when you come to my flow tab here, you go to create, as if you want to create your flow. Let's go to create tab. The create tab, don't forget earlier I told us that we have 3 ways of building your flows. You can either start from the blank, or you move downward, you start from templates, or the third one is to start from connector. You have the 5 types of flows. You have 5 types of flows that you can create. Based on the need or the purpose of the flow, they are categorized into 5 types. Now, the first one is what we call the automated flows, the automated cloud flow. Now, for automated, before we even go to automated cloud flow, when you are building a flow, you always require 2 things. When you are building a flow, 2 things are always required. Number 1 is there must be a trigger. There must be a trigger that will trigger your flow. A trigger is something that triggers your flow, an event that initiates your flow. That is the trigger. Then the second thing is the action. So when you have a trigger, there's always and 1 or 2 or more actions that follows after the trigger has initiated your flows. So you always have, most important, you always have 1 trigger, then the action you have numerous action depending on the type of flow that you want to create, how extensive or how massive it is. So it depends on the number of actions that will happen. But most importantly, there is always a trigger that will trigger the flow. So the trigger is what will trigger the event that will initiate the flow. Why? Which will be followed by 1 or more action. Now, let's come to our automated flow. Automated flow. So automated flow is a flow that is created, or it is created by an automatic trigger. It is a flow that is triggered by it is triggered automatically, just like the name. It is triggered automatically. For example, I cited an example the other time. You might have an email, perhaps some emails are coming in, and you want a situation by anytime you have an email that has an attachment. So you want Power Automate to automatically pick that attachment and drop it in a folder for you. So for that kind of flow that you need, the trigger, who can tell us what do you think the trigger is there? What will trigger that flow?
Attachments.
The attachments. Yes. Any other option? Attachment will trigger the flow. Any other option? Yes. Thank you, Oluwafemi. Say yes, attachment will trigger the flow, but attachment is not what will come first. A mail has to come in first. So when the mail come in, now what the flow will, so the mail will trigger it will trigger the flow. Now what the flow will now look for is the condition. And what is that condition? The condition is, does this email has an attachment? If it has an attachment, then it will what? It will go through the numerous actions that you have asked it to take. If not, nothing will happen. The same thing when you build a flow that looks into your social media, for example, your Twitter, and it looks for a particular keyword. You want to know what people are saying about your business, and you have created a flow that it goes to Twitter, look for what people tweet, and look for a particular keyword there. So what will trigger that flow is that keyword. Whenever you see a tweet that's that keyword or the hashtag, it will trigger that flow. Then the subsequent action that you've asked it to take is what? It will initiate such what? Action. So they are triggered by what? Automatically. You don't need to interfere with it. Whenever the triggering effect takes place, then the flow will automatically pick up. That is what? Automated cloud flow. Now, let's check it. When you click on it, if you want to build an automated cloud, you click on it. Here now you can see it was always what? When you click on it, your flow, first thing is your flow must always have a name. There should be a name for each flow. You must name it, just like the way we name our child when they are giving birth to. So you give a name to it. Now, first thing that it's asking you for is choose a flow trigger. It is asking for what? For the trigger. So we have a lot of things that can trigger it. For example, if we want to build a flow that will save your attachment. So you need to look for the email, probably your Outlook or Gmail and so on like that. So we have here when a new response is submitted. This is form. This is SharePoint, OneDrive, Planner. You can see this is email arrive on your Gmail, if it is a Gmail, and so on. You can see you have a lot of what can even show more triggering effects, those things that can trigger it. So what you need to do is, what do I need to trigger my flow? If it's a mail, you can say Outlook. I'm looking for Outlook. So when you type Outlook, you can see different options under Outlook. These are when a new email arrives, when a new email mentioning me, that is when a new email that has my name mentioned in it arrives. Is that what we want? Or what, particularly when a new email arrives, when an email is flagged, when a new event is created? Different options here. Upcoming events, you see, different when a new email. So different options here. Let me see. I can just say, let me flip for this email attachment. Yes. To search for it and look for what if we have any of that effect. The same thing if it is that you have a file, you have a folder in your OneDrive or somewhere else that need whenever a new file is dumped in that folder, you want a notification. You want to get a notification that a new file has been dropped in that folder. Can do the same thing. Or you want a situation whereby whenever an email is sent to probably the head of your department, an email is sent to me, I want it to automatically reflect in on our Teams channel. It should automatically reflect there. So different things. Those are the triggering. Those are the different triggers that can trigger your flow. Or we are going to build one. So let's just take one of them. So that is automated cloud flow. Then the second one is the instant cloud flow. The instant cloud flow. So instant cloud flow is a flow that happens mostly by it is called mostly when you have a button, you click on it, unlike the automated flow that looks for a tree. So the triggering effect is probably anything you stated. But here it is mostly it is triggered manually. The instant cloud flow is triggered manually. You can either trigger it with a button when you have a button. Yes. There's always you have a button in your Power Automate flow that has a button. Once you click on that button, then it should do, is it that when I click on this button, it should send a mail to my line manager that today I'll be working from home. So anytime, once you build that kind of flow, anytime you click on that button, it will automatically send a mail to your manager that you'll be working from home today. You can build one. Instead of you drafting email every now and then, every day, anytime you think you don't feel like going to the office, working from the office, you just want to work from home. So instead of you drafting email and sending it, you can create an automation. You create an instant what? Cloud flow for such by what? Clicking on the button, then it automatically send the mail. Or you can see another one is from Power Apps. So this one is when you build your application from Power Apps. Now you want to automate it. So just like one of the apps that when we were building our app, we are putting button at the end of the say, you put a submit button. So that submit button is is a trigger. So when you integrate it with Power Automate, once you click that button will trigger, that button from Power Apps now will trigger your flow and do whatever you want it to do. Same thing from Power Virtual Agent, even from Power BI, SharePoint, a lot of things. So these are they are instant cloud flow. So what they do is they need a manual trigger. It is triggered manually. Then it will call your flow. Now, the third one is the scheduled cloud flow. The scheduled cloud. In fact, one thing I always tell people is if you find yourself doing something or performing a particular task over and over and over again, then you are no longer productive. For example, now, I know that every Tuesday I need to send out a mail to a particular client, or every Tuesday I do write a blog post, so I need to send and I need to notify my probably to remind my supervisor or even remind myself about what I need to do something on Wednesday, or we send a mail, automate mail out to our clients on a particular day. So instead of you waiting for Tuesday to come, then send the mail that tomorrow this will happen, then you just you can automate this. What your hand is up?
Yeah, Sadiq. So I want to ask, in that instance, is it when it is in the same context? Or what if it's the mail is quite different? Can I automate that as well?
Hello, your line is breaking. I can barely hear you. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me now?
Okay,
I can
yes,
hear
I
you
can
loud
hear
and clear.
you. All right, please come again.
All right. Okay. So you said if I repeat a task like over and over, that means that I'm no more efficient, right? So
Yes.
I'm now asking, say for example, there is an email I send every Tuesday, but then the email I send on Tuesdays, they are not of the same content. Is there a way I can automate that?
All right, yes, fantastic. Yes, so it's not necessarily they are of the same context. So what you can do in such cases, you can have probably an Excel table. Probably you have an Excel table that has that pick the keyword of your email. That pick some keywords that are particular to the different people that you send it to. So all you need to do is create a scheduled flow. Then if you look into that table, so your flow will always look into that table, then pick, okay, for example now, if on the first column there is Sadiq, my email is here, you need to pick something about that's particular about me. So you specify it there in your flow. Then it will go through the table one after the other and send the different emails to the different people that you have there. For example, now, let's say in HR department in my organization, mostly banks, they recruit massive when they are doing their recruitment. They recruit massively. Some banks they recruit like 300 people at the same time for like graduate training program and so on like that. So in some cases, that you are sending email to these 300 people. So the only thing that changes here is just maybe the name, the name and the email address that this thing is going to. So on few things in the in the body of the mail. But you know, every other thing is the same. So instead of you drafting the mail, then sending it out to them one after the other, you can actually automate it. So it will just look through my table and pick the few differences that are there now, then initiate it and send it to each person based on the specified arguments there. Another way of doing it is, let's say you are bringing in like 20 people. You've recruited 20 new people to your team, but these people, they are even of different, cadre. So you know, this one is level 1, another one is management level, mid-level, and so on like that. Definitely, their pay will differ, their role differ as well. So you can also you can automate this one. Create a table. So for this person, if you look at the table, Sadiq Yusuf, the email, what's the level? It picks the level and pastes it where it needs to be in the body of the mail, the pay, and all the different breakdown that you need to have there. So it will do that for you automatically. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does. Is it limited to Excel or is it something I can also do on Word document?
No, Word document, just create a table on Word document. But you can, instead of using the Word document, you can use SharePoint list. You have SharePoint list that you can use. You can use other things as well.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you very much, Sadiq.
In fact, most importantly, most of the emails that we get for this training, they are all automated emails. They are automated. So because most times you have a lot of things that you are doing, most just want to decide to automate it. Because you might even forget. You might have another thing that is taking your time. So before you forget, thank you, Sandra. So instead of you to just be waiting for, okay, when is this exactly 8 p.m., I'll send a reminder email to participant. Why not automate everything? Okay, at such time, once it is 8 p.m., this email will go out. Now let's even check the scheduled Cloudflow. Let's see how it works. Now, after giving a name to the Cloudflow, you can see you are saying run this flow. When do you want this flow to run? You start when it should start running on this particular date. You pick a date where you want the flow to start running. Then time it. By 8 p.m., this mail should go out. Now, what is the interval? It should be repeat. This one, then this one word, is it every minute, month, week, day, and so on like that? I see. So it can be every 7 days. If it's something that goes out probably every Tuesday or every Thursday or Friday, you know, it's a 7 days interval. You can just repeat this same one by every 7 days. It can be 7 months, 7 weeks, 7 days, 7 hours, and so on like that. So by 7 days, we now determine, by starting days, we now determine when the 7 days will be. I know this training is always what? On Saturdays and Sunday, right? So I can just, for this one now, can be Friday. I can do one for Friday, do it for another Saturday or so time, then you get the email. So I don't need to bother myself reminding you again. I've already set everything up. Then once it is that time, the specified time, this mail will go out. It will go out. So that is scheduled flow. You schedule it. The same way you can schedule your email on, I think I fixed something. Okay, so let me just go on to. So the same way you can schedule your email on Outlook, you can just do a delayed delivery. Yes. Now the next one is the desktop flow. The desktop flow. Now, all these flows that we've talked about, the automated flow, the instant flow that is triggered manually, the scheduled flow that can be scheduled, it works at interval. They are all what? They all works with they work with in the cloud, like they work online, they're all online. But you see, this desktop flow is what we call it works online and it also works offline. Desktop flow work online and it also work offline. It says that it helps you to automate some of those processes that you do every day on your desktop. on your desktop environment, it automates what? That it helps you with that repetitive task on your desktop. I know every day I do this and this. Every morning, first thing I do is go to my desktop, go to my documents. There's a folder there I need to open it, do this, and when you open it, pick a particular document there, do it and send it out and so on like that. So you can actually what? Replicate the same thing with your Power Automate. So it will just go through your mouse click where you are clicking. So you can also, it goes through your mouse clicking. Okay, where did you click? So the different processes that you take, these different steps, one after the other. So then it can also help you to replicate the same, just that it's a bit so we call it that you can also use it to build a model. You can build a model with it as well. That's how you simulate the, you can simulate it, then it's what it continues doing it for you without your own interference anymore. So that is desktop flow. We also call it the robotic process of automation. It works like a robot. So just look at what you are doing and what simulate it every day and night. Anytime you want to do it, so it will simulate it. Yes, Abdulaziz, your hand is up.
Yeah, thank you. My question is based on the explanation we had now. Does it mean that maybe if my desktop is off now, maybe I'm not online, does it mean that this the desktop flow, the message is going to be transmitted to where I want it to go? Or must I be online, or maybe I'm working on the desktop at that
That's
moment?
what I'm, okay, all right. Thank you for that question. So the only prerequisite that you need is just for your system to be up. Just for your system to be up. Once your system is up, it will do everything for you. That's the only thing. You don't need to be online or offline. It can be offline. So long your system is all up, then it will perform the task for you. But this, it needs a particular gateway that you need to install and so on like that. So it's not as easy as all other flows. Because these ones they are cloud flows. So they work with the cloud. Once you are connected, they work. But this is works with offline. You are working offline. So it needs a particular gateway for you to access your system and do what that task that you wanted to do for you. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does.
All right, thank you very much.
And
Okay.
the question that follows it is, definitely I have to be online, right? Or maybe I have to be connected. Yeah, let me put it like that, to the internet before it can work, right?
Yes and no. You can decide to be connected. So all you need is that gateway. Once that, so probably you need to be connected really with that gateway. So it is connecting to your desktop now. With through that gateway itself as the bridge that is linking your offline desktop to the what, to the Power Automate that is online. So that gateway that you install is bridging the gap between the online and the offline, because that task is meant for your system alone. So and it is working just like you have you go to what is it called, one of your folders on your desktop folders and so on. So all those activity now. This is my this now. So me coming here, going to documents, open this one, open this, pick a template from it, and take it somewhere else and so on. So all these activity, they are offline activity. So that gateway, so there's no way your Power Automate work online. It works with internet. So but all this activity that you want to simulate is an offline activity. So the gateway that you install now will now be the bridging gap. It's what will connect your system that is working offline with the Power Automate. So you need an internet connection to do that, for the gateway to connect both worlds together, because they are in different worlds. Does that answer your question?
Exactly. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Now, The last one on the list is the business process flow. The business process flow. Now, the business process flow. Okay, Oluwafemi, your hand is up.
Okay, yes, Sadiq. Thank you.
Yes.
So when I clicked on the desktop flows, it now said I need a Microsoft Dataverse to make desktop flow. So is that the gateway you're talking about?
Oh, no, I'm using it first. Okay. So it says you need a Dataverse.
Yes, to make desktop flows. That's what I saw. When for everyone that you've been talking about, when we click on it,
Yes.
we see what is required. Like maybe a name
Yes.
for. But for this one, after I clicked it, it now said I need a database.
Mine is not even telling me that. Look at my screen here. My screen here. So I need to download an app and launch it. So that's the
Okay, so
gateway
I
I'm talking
click your
about.
own for
Yes.
no additional cost. Okay,
Exactly.
but that I only
Yes.
say you Microsoft database to make desktop.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Yes. So that's also part of it. So probably mine is I think I have a subscription. You can see some review. I just download it. So it's called the robotic process automation. So RPA. So it works like a robot. Yes. Works like a robot. Yes. Now
Okay.
the business. Thank you.
But is
Okay.
that different from the gateway?
No, that is still different from the gateway that you need to install on your system. You need to install a proper gateway. Yes. On your system. Now, the third one is the business process flow. Business process flow works just to what? To guide people on business policy, to streamline users' way of doing things. To streamline their way of doing things. Probably you have a lay down process. So you have to go through step A before you can move on to step B. Now, when you do step B, if it is white, then it has to go to this branch. If it is green, it has to go to this branch, and so on like that. So that is business process flow. Now let me give you a typical example, like one of the consulting job I did. So we have with this firm, they have different, what they do is for visitors that are coming into their premises because of COVID-19. So they need to streamline people coming into their premises. In fact, even if it is their own worker, anybody that has stayed away for a while, a week or more. So you have to fill in the form, then you fill in the form, fill in your destination where you are going to. So that destination now, they will now decide whether they need your they want to allow you to come in or not. Now, where business process flow comes in is that there are a lot of departments, just like the government parastatal, they have a lot of this. So in fact, they have over 90, I mean almost 20 departments. So when you are filling the form, you need to pick the department that you are going to. Now, so the department you pick now, the department you pick and location. So they have different locations. So if you pick marketing, for example, you need to pick of which location. So now, if you pick marketing and you pick, let's say Ikeja, for example, I'm going to your Ikeja annex. So automatically, this your form should automatically go to Sodiq. But if you pick marketing and you pick Ojuelegba or Surulere, this same form will automatically be routed towards Babatope. If you pick another, so that's what we call business process. So what your choice will determine where your form will go. The same thing when you create, for example, if you create an what's it called, an expense app, an application where you can use to make and to request for expenses, to make your expense requisition. Now, so business, they already say they have some policy that okay, a so amount, for example, if you are requesting for anything less than 100,000, then it can be approved. It can be approved or declined by the junior accountants. Now, if your expense is between 100,000 and 500,000, then you need another level of approval, which is probably the senior accountants. We have to look into it. Now, any expense that is now more than 2 million, then you need the director's approval. So that's how business process flow works. So it guides you through the process of what? Of doing things based on the laid down policy. So your option, the option that you choose will determine the level of what, where your own approval is coming from. So you pick anything less than 100,000, yes, it is within the jurisdiction of the junior accountants to approve or reject. Okay, Yasandra, your hand is up.
Yes, so I wanted to ask, can you use business process flow for, let's say, when if you have a power apps for like creating a leaf power app, right? And then when the person fills the form on the app, then the business process flow will basically maybe direct it to maybe the supervisor of the person for approval. Can business process flow also work for that?
Exactly, you've gotten it. So that's what it does. So when you create that, I say you can integrate all these applications. So you can integrate them. When you build your app for leave application, so I know I belong to the accounting department. So if I'm filling my leave application and I pick my department is accounting, automatically my form should not go to the director of operation. It should not go to the marketing director. No, it should go to whoever is in charge of accounting. If I pick marketing, it should automatically be rerouted to my line supervisor. So that's what business process flow does. Thank you. Does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you, Sadiq.
All right, thank you very much. So that is business process flow. Now, we explain the different types of flow that we have in Power Apps. Do we have any question? Do we have any question before I proceed? All right, so I will take our silence for no question. Now, we now proceed to how do we start building our application, our automation. How do you start creating your automation? Like I said, there are 3 ways from which you can start building your Power Automate flow. You can either start from blank, or you start from templates, or you start from a connector. So, but for this session, we are going to be looking at how to build your application, how to build your flow from templates. We start from templates, then we can also start from blank flow. We can start from the beginning, from blank. So we initiate it ourselves. Now, let's look at the different templates that we have in Power Automate. Now, let me go to templates. Let's come to templates. Now, these are the different templates that we have. You can see here now, save Gmail attachment to Dropbox folder. You have get a daily reminder from your Outlook email, Twitter, and so on. Now, let's do one thing. Let's see. We can build. Okay, do you have any option of any kind of flow that you want us to build from templates? In fact, sometimes if you don't even know what do I even want to build, what do I want to build, you can search for the application. Probably you want something on Outlook, just type Outlook here. It will bring everything you have on Outlook. You can just look at it and look at it, scroll through it and say, okay, what do I want to build? Then another thing is, even when you pick anyone there, you can still modify it. Now, for example, here now, the first one I have is save Outlook email attachment to OneDrive. This one is saying save email attachment from Outlook to Dropbox. So OneDrive. So if you look at this first one and the one under it, they look the same. Save Office 365 email attachment to specified OneDrive for business. So this OneDrive is personal. This first one is personal OneDrive, and this is OneDrive for business. Pick any one, or so. Do we have anyone in mind, or I should just pick for us? Okay, so let's start. Okay, okay, your hand is up.
Okay, yes. I wanted to find out what determines the create what you use to create. What should determine whether I should create with start from a template or start with connector
Yes.
or start
So
from blank?
blank. Actually, they are all the same. So what template does is just to make our work easy. You already have a template, just edit it to your taste. That's all. You have a template or a standing template, just edit it to your taste. That is all. Instead of creating from blank, you have to be the one bringing the trigger and look for what's the next thing you want to do. I want to send an email or connect to this particular tool and so on like that. You are doing it yourself. But a template, you can just leverage on the existing template, then you just edit it to your taste, and that is all. That's all. There's no difference. So now, you have a lot of templates. What should I use? Okay, let me see if we have. Okay. This is Outlook. Okay, we can just create like 2 or so. So business process flow, we can create that. Maybe we start from blank tomorrow or so tomorrow. So let's look at OneDrive. Let's look at OneDrive. When an email come in that has an attachment, then it will automatically pick that attachment and save it to somewhere else. Let me see if I have something. Save attachments. In the folder. Yes. Save Outlook email attachment. It can even be your Gmail. For your Gmail, you can save the attachment to your Google Drive. For email as well, once it comes in on your Outlook, you can save it to Google Drive, and so on. A lot of options that you can pick. A lot of options. Now, let's do this one first. Save Outlook email attachment to OneDrive. Let me pick this. You can see now. So I've picked this now. Now it is telling me that I need connection to 2 things. Number one is Outlook. I want to use Outlook. So any tool that you want to use in your automation, you need access to it. For example, if you don't have access to Outlook and you are connecting to Outlook, you need to create a connection to it. So on OneDrive, I have Outlook here, and I'm using Outlook and I'm using OneDrive. So I need connection to both of them for my laptop. So when you come down here at the bottom, it's saying what this flow will connect to what? It's connecting to my Outlook, and it will also connect to OneDrive. Now, currently, Outlook has been ticked. That means I've signed into Outlook from this system before. That's why it ticked. So it already has a connection to my Outlook. But OneDrive, it needs me to sign in to my OneDrive. So I'll just click on sign in.
Hello, my own is showing sign in for the 2. So am I to
Yes,
sign in for
so
both the Outlook and
yes, you have to
OneDrive?
sign into Outlook. Then you can sign into OneDrive as well. So to tick both. It is only when those the 2 have been ticked that you can go ahead to create your flow. Let me see, my password is always a problem. Which of them am I using? Okay, let me see. I need to drop here. That has always been an issue of mine. Okay, let me see. Back. Let me see my password. It's loading. So let's try that. Confirm from your end. Just confirm if it has ticked both for you. Outlook and OneDrive.
I can't. Sorry, I can't. I was unable to. I've not been able to sign into my OneDrive. Only the Outlook.
So that means this flow will not create for you. You have to be able to sign into both. So what's the issue with your OneDrive?
I don't know. It is unclickable. The signing for OneDrive.
Really?
Me too.
It's
Mine
grayed
don't.
out. I'm thinking because it's this trial
Oh,
account.
trial account. Yes. Okay, let's go and use something that all of us can relate to. Let's go and use our Gmail. So I think we all have Gmail, right? Let's go and use our Gmail. Even me. Mine is still loading here, creating the connection. But we can use our Gmail as well. Okay, let's go to templates. Let me see my Gmail. Okay. Yes, so save Gmail attachment to Google Drive. Yes, let's pick that. Gmail attachment to Google Drive. So I need access to my Gmail and also need access to my Google Drive. So it's asking me to sign in. So sign in to Gmail. Yes, switch off my mail. Let me use this. Okay, allow it. Yes, so it has established a connection to my Gmail account. Now my Google Drive is grayed out as well. Yeah. What's the issue? What is the issue? Let me use another Gmail. Let me see. Okay, now I get what you are getting the other time. It's graded out. Let me use this. Okay, what is the issue? What's the issue with my Gmail or my Google Drive? It's supposed to even sign in soon. Okay, let me use for Google Drive login. Let me log into my Google Drive. Let's see which account am I using here. Okay, I'm using this account. Just go to my Google Drive. Yes, so this is my Google Drive. So let me reload this page. Let me sign into my Google Drive. This is me. So let's see what will happen. Yes, can you see now? So it has bring up my Google Drive now. It's no longer grayed out. So I can now sign into my Google Drive. So I think you should do that from your end as well. So which of the account am I connected to? Okay, 76. Yes. Thank you. It is allowed.
Hello.
Let's get it. Hi.
Yeah. Let's say you have let's say you have two email accounts and you signed in with one of the Gmail accounts and now signed in for the Google Drive for the
With the other
second
account.
email account. Is it possible, or must it be the same email and the same Gmail Google Drive, something
No,
like that?
once you have access to the Google Drive, it will work.
To any of
It can be yes, it
the
can be the other Google Drive. Yes, it can be. Yes.
okay. Okay.
So mine is there. So this is same thing with. Okay, let me just duplicate this and see. Duplicate and do for my Outlook. I don't know why it's not working for my Outlook. So let me see what's going on here. So with this now, I can go ahead to create my flow. So it has established a connection with my Gmail and my Google Drive. So go ahead to create the flow. Now, here now, I can now start creating my flow. So here, same like what? Save Gmail attachment to Google Drive. So at the top, you can see, so here down here, you can see the details of our flow. This is flow. The name of the flow is save Gmail attachment to Google Drive. The status is on, description, when it was created, when it was modified, what type of flow is it? It's an automated flow. Plan. This flow runs on owners. So who is the owner? Sadiq Yusuf is the owner. So I cannot edit. So at the top here, these are the different things you can do. You can edit the flow, share the flow, save as, delete, send a copy, and so on like that. You can turn it off, check the analytics. Analytics will show you how your flow is doing over time. What is the analysis of the flow? So let's go ahead and edit the flow. Click on edit. Now, first thing is, please confirm that you're on the same page with me. So the first thing is to rename our flow. What name do you want to give your flow? You can say save attachments. Okay, this Gmail attachment, and I want to do output data. That's the name of my flow. I've renamed it. Now, it says when a new email arrives, this is the trigger. So the trigger is, don't forget I told you for an automated, for a flow, you need a trigger and you also need what? An action. So when an email arrives, what should happen? Apply to it at each attachment. In fact, look at it, in between the two levels here, you have what? An arrow. You can insert multiple steps. If you have another step that you want to, before you do this, what do you want to do? You can what? You can do that as well. Anything you want to do, you can just insert a step, add an action. What action do you want to do? What action do you want to add? Just do it here. But don't worry, we get to this level. Now let's work on the template. Now apply to it each attachment. Nice now. So each attachment that comes with the email that arrived here now, what should you do? On the Google Drive, the folder part is, so you want you to save it here. So what is folder part? The attachments. So here you can see now when I click on this, down here you see the what? This, what we have here is what we call the dynamic content. The dynamic content that you can make use of from the Gmail. See, from what you can pick the name of the person that the mail is coming from, the sender's email, the what, who was it sent to, the subject of the email, the body of the email, snippet, email ID, CC, is there anybody on the CC, and so on like that. But for here, what we need is the attachment, is what we need. And you see, so you can click where do you want the attachment to be if you have a folder path here. Google Drive, do I have any folder there? So I have different folder. So I can keep it in any of these folder. Let me come again. Folder path is, when you click here, this folder here now, it shows you Google Drive. So which folder in your Google Drive do you want this attachment to be saved? If none of these, you can go ahead, go to your Google Drive and create a new folder. You can create a new folder in your Google Drive and what have it. So once you create a new folder, then you see that folder. This I have exercise file, Outlook exercise, Sodicro, and so on like that. Yes, I can pick this. So you can see here from here now, it is going to be saved in this what Yumi. But if I did not change this at first, it will create a new folder for it. So that's why I call it attachment. So you create a new folder itself. When here I have what a specific folder. Where, but let me just change it to. So it's create a new folder for it, or okay, let it be here. Now, file name, the name of the attachment, then the content, this is it. So everything is set, just what can go ahead and save. Okay, Abdulaziz, your hand is up.
Yeah, from my own end here,
Okay.
after I apply to each attachment, I have two buttons. one is new step and the other one is save. So there is nothing, I can't see select and no output from previous steps from your own.
Select and
I
okay,
only
yeah,
have
this
new step. Like
can you quickly share your screen? Let me see what you're saying.
actually I'm
You are joining
using
your phone and
I'm using yes, I'm using phone to view what you are saying and I'm using my laptop.
Okay, let me understand. From the end here, you have
But I think I can switch on the sorry, let me switch
yeah, you
on
can
this
switch on
thing
your
maybe.
yes.
Yeah.
Let me see it. So it has already picked everything from. You can just go ahead and save it. Okay.
So can you see it?
No. Can anybody see it?
Sorry.
No, from my end.
No, it's loading.
It's coming up now. Okay. Yes. Okay. Okay. Now click on that. Apply to each. Click on it. It will expand the box for you. No.
New step. I have new
No.
step
No.
here.
Apply to each. Go down. Apply to it.
So
Yes. Yes. Now click on Google
okay.
Drive. Yes. It
Okay.
will open it for you. Yes.
All right.
So
Thank you.
that. Yes. All right. So welcome. All right. Let me share my screen back. Let me take over. Okay. So now I can now go ahead and save. So I'll pick the folder where I want it to be saved. From your end, there it will create its own folder. But if you don't want that folder, you have a specified folder. You can pick the folder by clicking on this icon to pick the folder that you want. So the file name, it will pick the file, the name on that attachment. This is telling that you pick the name on the attachment. Then the file content, it will pick the attachment itself. It's attachment content. That's what it will pick. Then I can now go ahead and save this. Save this. Okay, now my flow is saved. My flow is saved. So I can also do a quick test. I can go do a flow checker. I can check my flow. So there, for any possible error, currently there's no error. So which means what? Everything is fine. I can do a test, come here on the test. So I want to do it manually. Let me test it manually. Click on manually to run and tell you if your flow will work or not. So it's loading. Wow, time is gone already. Wow. Really? Okay, let's see how it loads now. Let's see how it loads. So it's loading. So it's just showing that this will work. Then as it's load, let me also log into my Gmail account to send an email. Let me test it. That is the flow. This is the flow. It's still loading. Okay, I want to use other accounts. This is the account I'm sending an email from here. Okay. And just go and look for an attachment from people. Sorry. To an email to this now. Look for attachments. Now I want to attach a file. Which one the file around here? Let me send this Microsoft Word attachments. Okay, say WC attachments. Now I've sent this to myself now. See this. This is still middle. Okay, I sent it down. Let me check here. Okay, it has been delivered now. So this has been delivered. So this document I said it has an attachment. So for any email that come into this particular account, it will what my flow will automatically go through it. It will vet it and check if there is an attachment. So if there's an attachment, you should pick the attachment, then go and save it in my OneDrive. Let me check my OneDrive. Okay, let me reload this. I'm reloading this now. Where are my folders? Let me check for my folder. Where are my folder again? Okay. Where are my folder again? I'll go back. That's 5. Oh, so where did I say it should go? Said it should go to. What did I pick? I pick. Okay. Hey, this switch will not go because this something has changed here. Instead of why I should start it, I have just O. But let me check if it will. Okay, this is it here. So this is the folder. This is the document I said AFM with SOY instructional design. You check my email. It's called AFM_VT_SOY. So if I come here now, this is the document. So it has what? It has been saved in my what? In my OneDrive. So that is how it was. Simply means my flow is working. Any question? So you can do another one for probably if you have any business person here and you want to know what people are saying about your business. If you want to know what people are saying about your business, so you can still go ahead and do something probably on Twitter. Let me see. Okay, hashtag, a bit tweet. Search for it. Tweet, come to your template, look for tweet. Sentiment analysis. Email. Okay, look at this. Email yourself a new tweet about a certain keyword. So if anybody say any keyword from Twitter that's talking about your business, you can really look at it to get the information. So you need to connect to Twitter and connect to my Office 365 and my Outlook as well. So currently, you can see I have a connection to my Outlook and I have connection to my Twitter account. So I can just continue. Let me just run us through how to do this in case we have anybody that has a business. Yes. So already, he said the trigger is that what? When a new tweet is posted. So it's automatically vet all tweets on Twitter and search for what text, search for text. What is the text? Is it a particular text or is an hashtag? So I want an hashtag that is talking about myself. Okay, any keyword or an hashtag can be an hashtag that's talking about Sadiq. I can have something else. Okay, maybe an hashtag. Let's bring my name. So now, if you now go to Twitter, vet all tweets for this text, then what does it say? Get a user. So to get the user and the person that tweets this, now it will now send an email. Send an email to me. So where should it send the email to? I need to what specify where should this go to? Should go to my account. Okay, this is me. Now, what is the subject of the mail that is coming to my account? So currently it has what? Because I'm picking from template. Template has already designed this thing for me. So all I need to just to leverage on this and say new tweet that's coming from the name of the person. Yeah, to pick the name of the person, that's going to be subject. Now it's telling me that what tweet, this is the tweet, the old tweet that the person tweet, it will supply it for me. The time that the person tweeted this, it will supply it. So you give me a link, a URL link, http.com So tweet by the status, the tweet ID, tweeted by, I want to see everything about the person and know what the person is saying about me or my business. Once I save this, once I have this saved now, so it will automatically run on Twitter. So vet or tweet for the hashtag I use or the keyword I use. Then anytime you pick anything of such, then you send an email to my Outlook about, so with all this detail, and if we need more detail, we can pick from the dynamic content that we have here. So the different content, the dynamic content, you can see different things that you can pick from. In fact, you can even do another one, an instant flow, that tells you the weather, that gives you the weather update of your environment, of your particular location, to give you the weather update every blessed day. Every day, which will give you what? There are a lot of things that you can do. But don't worry, tomorrow we are going to continue with Power Automate. So Power Automate is an excellent tool that you can ease the stress of. You can use a lot of stress, a lot of things that you do manually to help you to automate it. You just sit down, relax, and be more productive. Thank you very much, everybody, for listening and for your attention today. Do we have any question? I don't want to keep us with this weekend already. Some of us are going to club. So like me now, once it's 10, I'm jetting out. So any question? Hello, any question?
No question for me.
No question from you.
No,
Thank you.
no question from me either.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Tomorrow we are going to look at some business scenarios. We look at business scenarios and see what we can make out of it. If possible, we can decide to just build a mini app, then integrate it with Power Automate and see how it works. So,
Hello, Sadiq.
hi, Abdulaziz.
Yeah, sorry, because when the class started, I wasn't really set to then. But I noticed that this thing is just like the first one that we did under the Power Apps, which we have a kind of environment, tenants, and
Exactly.
so
Yes. Okay. Go ahead, please.
yeah. Does it mean that we still need this is also like a trial version or what? Or this one doesn't require the version? Maybe we have 30 days of trials or something.
Yeah, still using trial. If you have, do you have Office 365 subscription?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
Do you have license? Office 365
Yeah,
license.
I used a student account, my student
Oh,
account.
okay. So that was still last for me. And in fact, some people, what they do, you know what they do? Let me just let me tell you the trick. Everyone will say this. People, what they do is they use their trial environment to build whatever they need to build. So instead of buying a license and so on like that, so after the 30 days, they will notify you that your trial environment is about to expire. You can extend it. So people keep extending. So by that, you can continue doing whatever you are doing. Just keep extending. So that's another way. So if I save this now, so if I now want to see, so just like in Power Apps too, it has environment. You create different environments. I said I have a lot of environments here, depending on whatever I want to do. So all the automation I've created so far now, so I can now go to, if I want to see everything, I'll go to my flows here. So you can see, so I can see all the flows that I have built. Then I can go ahead. If I want to do an edit, I can edit it, or anything I want to do. You can see it's telling me the type of flow I created. Here is an automated, but this last one is an instant flow because it's connected with Power Apps. So it is a button in Power Apps that will call this particular flow. So thank you, everybody. In fact, we have a lot to explore in Power Automate. But for now, let's just call it a night. Thank you very much for your dedication and your commitment. And I hope you've learned one thing, at least one thing from today's training. Thank you very much. I look forward to seeing you in the session same time tomorrow.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Sadiq.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone.